Hey, I've been trying to download a fun video. I cooked today and I made a veggie pie. That's the finished product, but I can't get it to upload, unfortunately. So I thought I would try to make a short video to cover a lot of the concerns in my last video. Mainly, you know, it makes me angry. Terribly, terribly angry. Excuse my crappy camera work again. I'm trying to find a place to set this. Yeah. Oh, that's not going to hold anyway. So many things have been going through my mind with what was a lot of the comments made on my last video, talking again about poverty and the American nightmare rather than the dream. In 2008, banksters all over this country were bailed out from their greedy criminal activities. They took that money and they bought all the foreclosures here in Florida, and I'm sure in many other desirable states. They then sent in a crew of, I don't know if they were just brought here on those special visas, but it wasn't our citizens doing the work. They brought people in from other places to remodel the homes, probably for very little money. Then they doubled the rents. When we tried to get a rent as a family, 6 of us, in a home down here before the prices were as bad as they are now. Back then you could get a very nice 4-bedroom for $1,200 a month. They said to us, that's too many people. Well, why would you need to be all 6 people? That's too much wear on the house. This is what you encounter when you try as a family to save money if you don't buy your own home. Right now, the prices are prohibitive. My sons, neither one of them as self-employed individuals have 2 straight years because both of them lost one job and had to take on a new job. This leaves you with only 1 year of a IRS return, a tax return. They have to have 2. So a house has come up. It's a good friend of my son, Dennis Jr. And I know he'll be paying too much for it because we are going to have a crash at the end of this year. I guarantee it. What goes up must come down. All the indicators and the more honest economists are all pointing in that direction. It happened before, and before that, and before that, and before that. If it wasn't the Bush's savings and loan debacle, do we remember that one? Then they have something to blame it on always, right? In 2008, it was the subprime. Before savings and loan, what was it? Energy crisis, maybe, in the 70s? I don't know. Oh, there was the 80s, too. Oh, who knows what caused that one, right? To the 1980s. And then the 90s. I think the 90s was the savings and loan debacle. 2008 was the subprime. Always a good reason for creating a recession, depression. Pardon me for doing that. I had to adjust my camera. Always a good reason, isn't there? But they're always the same reasons. The rich men of this earth are heaping it up in the last days. Do I believe it's the last days? I think of, whether you believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. societies collapse. Usually they collapse within 400 years. Usually it's due to greed, avarice. Yeah, I'll say it. Debased ideas, debased living. Pompeii, Rome. What was that Greek? He was the one who thought he was God too. I can't remember his name. He had everything. Started off and he had everything. He had all of Rome, and he had all of the known civilizations under his thumb. And his collapsed as well. You can't. History repeats itself, doesn't it? If you're one who's studied history in depth, you'll see that nothing is new under the sun. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking if I sell my trailer now and I get what I can for it before it's not worth $5,000, I can hold off for a while. Maybe I'll rent a room in someone else's house. Maybe I'll go camping for a summer. I don't know exactly. But I know this. There's going to be deals out there again. There's going to be land going for cheap if the banksters don't buy it all up like they did in the last one. It's the have and have-nots. They want it all. Don't tell me they don't want it all. They want it all. And they don't care what they have to do to us to get it. I heard Obamacare mentioned. When I came down here, we were living here the first year, they wouldn't give me Medicaid. Dennis had to get his disability, and then I'd have to become his caregiver before they'd give me Medicaid. So I called for Obamacare. Yes, I called the right number, believe me. And they said, oh, you have to make $16,000 a year. I said, I don't make anything. What can you do for me? $901 a month. I said, $901. I said, even if I was making $16,000 a year, I wouldn't be able to pay $901. Silence. I said, okay, so if I'm making $16,000 a year, then what will I pay? $895 a month. And what are the deductibles? When does it kick in? You have to have $26,000 worth of medical bills before they'll kick anything in, and then it was only a percentage. This is Obamacare, okay? If you're a young person, it's $40 a month. If you're over 50, it's close to I don't know what it is now. How many years ago was that? 3? No. They don't want to take care of us. They don't want to help us if they don't have to. I think the only reason they do what they do with food stamps and such is because there'd be blood in the streets. I do believe that, and I think they know it. People can only take so much. Eventually, something's got to give. For us older people, I do wonder, and I do want to do a separate video on what if we got grants to start communities, small communes of perhaps tiny homes, though those are outrageously expensive. A trend should be started, you know. We're all getting older. There's a lot of baby boomers, and we're going to be in trouble. Aging in place. How can we? How can we age in place My electric bill went up by 30%. I suddenly have a water bill I didn't have before, and that's gone up another 10% since we started with them. It was $45, now it's $55 a month. My electric when I came here was $75 a month, and even in the worst use, it was $125. Before Dennis died, we had a $225 electric bill. And I thought to myself, how are we going to survive this if it keeps going in this direction? I knew he'd be all right because he'd qualify for a nursing home or assisted living. But I've always been the one in the lurch, and I still am. My fear is this about my little trailer, and it is a 55 park. A 40-year-old could come and live here with me. But under that, I don't believe they allow it. And if there's more than 2 people, the rent goes up. I know that Finn would not be allowed to stay here. I think it's a smarter idea to get what I can for this place, hold on to as much money as I can for when things drop. And they will. But who knows? What if they don't? I don't know. They've pulled so many things throughout the centuries on the little people. The ones who do all the working, all the buying, all the dying. They have no respect for us. We are money-generating units. That's what they call us in their own paperwork. Indeed, money-generating units. You're not even a human being. Think about that. Why am I saying this? Why am I doing this? Because it needs to be said. What do we do about it? I'm not entirely sure, but I think we ought to all put our heads together and try to figure it out. Let's come up with some ideas. What can we do? I called today to the senior apartments. I said, I have a few questions. I'd like to know where I am on the list. Let me look that up, she said. She said, you're number 41 on the list. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's good, right? She said, there were only 5 availabilities last year, and we've only had 1 availability so far this year. I said, wow, 5 a year. If you can even maintain 5 openings a year, that means how many years for me? 5 times 7 is 30. 5 times 8 is 40? Yeah, I've got 8 years at least to wait for an apartment. I may be dead by then. I don't know. What's the answer? She said there was a big turnover 2 years ago and people your age came in. She said, you're not alone. Every single person on this list has your story. I believe it. I'm not afraid anymore. I was afraid, but my daughter Rachel and I have been talking. She thinks that she's going to have to jump out of her plane too. She's in a very bad situation, and she's not going to be able to stay there much longer. And we're talking about traveling and camping together for safety purposes. And I just may have to do that. And don't feel bad for me. Don't feel afraid for me. Don't worry that I'm making a decision before the year is up. Here's the problem. If I keep staying here and this house keeps falling apart, no, I can't sell my car to put $18,000 into this crap hole when you can buy one for $23,000 that's ready to go just down the street. No, I've already invested too much money in this place. It's a losing game, and I will be the loser. I've got about 3 years, maybe 4, that I can afford to stay here. Because this is a rented lot. I own the trailer. I rent the lot. This is what happens to poor people. Because I don't have $100,000 for a piece of land here in this area. I don't even know if you can get a piece of land anymore for $100,000 in this area. It's okay. It is what it is. And we do what we must. But there needs to be solutions. Yeah, we need to insist on solutions. We need to raise up our voices and be heard. We're the boomers. We're the children that came out of World War II. And the couples that married, that went to war. We're their offspring. We created everything that's here through our blood, sweat, and tears. And now they want to pull the rug out from under us. Maybe they can do it, but maybe we can fight back. I don't know. Maybe this is my way of saying, stick it, government. You can have it. It's not going to do them any good in the long run, because they're going to die too. And if there is a maker, they're going to meet their maker. And they are going to have to make an account for everything they've done. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for watching.